This video is about 5 ways I saved money this year. Now, I don't have the math written out. I didn't do a very good job keeping a log on things, but I can tell you I didn't buy for a year, or I didn't buy for a couple months, or I didn't buy what I wanted, maybe, right? So this video is all about 5 ways I saved money this year, and some of them might kind of surprise you, might even gross you out a little bit, but hey, it saved money and it's working. So I'm gonna keep on with it, and I hope that you can find some of these tips helpful too. Good morning. Welcome to Blessings in the Journey. You are catching me up. It's like 7 a.m. So, I mean, this is what I look like in the morning, all puffy. I don't wear makeup anyway, so it's probably not much different throughout the day, but I'm telling you, this is like me just not being up that long. I mean, I have been outside, but not for very long, because baby, it's cold outside. So here I am, and I pulled out my beauty berries that we foraged. I've been working on these things for 3 days, foraging, collecting, rinsing, separating, back to separating again. And I got a feeling it's not going to get done today. Side note, I should have said no to doing some things today with the kids, or yesterday, and just got this done, and I didn't. So that's on me. But Saturday is stay home Saturday, and you know, not like we don't have all the things to clean and do here, but I can get this done on Saturday and it'll be all right. So just keeping them, I could probably keep them outside and they'd be really good, because I think it was near about freezing last night. It was cold this morning. I should have checked the temperature. Anyway, I digress. This video is about saving money. Why am I doing a video about saving money at 7 o'clock in the morning? Well, because here I am reminding myself why I'm doing this. You know, the negative thoughts that pop in our head, like, girl, this is taking too long. Why are you bothering? Why don't you just give these berries to somebody else and say, I'm not doing it this year? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you why. Because this saved me money last year. And here we are to the part of the video about saving money. All right, as I work on picking through my beauty berries, here goes number 1 way I saved money this year. Well, I love pancakes. I mean, I love pancakes. We live in a camper. We have a cast iron, well, everything, but griddle, like a griddle, a waffle maker, like all the equipments, right? All the pots and pans, cast iron on a propane grill. Years before moving in a camper, we camped. Like, as a family, we love camping. And so I sometimes cook over the open fire outside, like if it's a stew, but pancakes, waffles, I do inside the camper. But I just want to share that I love them, and I go through spells where I eat a lot of waffles or a lot of pancakes. Like, I kind of get hung up on it for breakfast food. And this year, I ate my share of pancakes. And I think I might, we live in a camper, so our storage is like so limited. We don't have a pantry. That is my only one of 3 complaints I have about camper living, is that there's no storage for food, limited storage. But the shelves, we've got them organized and packed full the best we can. Things like soaps and washing things we keep outside because they don't have to be in here. So we utilize all space for food storage, or like up there's the cast iron and glassware. But again, I love pancakes and waffles, and I didn't buy not 1 jar of syrup this year. Like I said, I think there's still maple syrup in there from last year that hadn't been used. And that's because these wonderful beauty berries right here. I think it was 12, 13, 14. I didn't keep up with the math. I'm going to do better at that. It was in the teens, low teens. It was the low teens jars of syrup I put away. And yes, I housed them in here miraculously, right? I also gave a lot away. I gave away several jars, like maybe 5. I would say about 5 jars I gave away. And no one complained about it, so it won't awful, right? But the whole year I used Beauty Berry jelly. And right now, we have the last jar of it in the fridge. And there's like that much in the bottom. So it's almost out, which is good timing because October is Beauty Berry harvesting month. Yes, you like how I just named that a national holiday, a national thing. So put it on your calendar, October, at least in eastern United States, southeastern United States, October is a Beauty Berry harvesting time. I did notice that they ripened or they started to dry up faster this year. Mid-October was when I harvested, and a lot of them were already dried up. And I think that's because of I guess you could call it, we were in a drought, right? I mean, it hasn't rained very much. Isn't that a drought? Which also, another side note, here we go. You know that's a predictor of being a very cold winter, right? Like, it has something, supposedly, I don't know. Supposedly, it has something to do with the sun and, like, sunspots and solar flares and, like, 11-year cycles. Now, I can't go into details about it because, one, I don't know and understand it. I'm just repeating something I've heard. But I do believe that many things with, you know, the atmosphere, solar system, if you can call it that, whatever, sun, moon, stars, phases, whatever you want to classify, is astronomy, astrology, astronomy, it's one of those things, right? Astronomy, I always get astronomy and astrology mixed up. I have to really think about it. That has a lot to do with weather. And you know, like, I don't even need books to tell me, because I can notice things. And here goes another side note. You know, they say that there's no real evidence that full moons affect behavior in people. Let me tell you what, I don't need something charted out. I'll use anecdotal evidence and lifelong experience, and I'm here to tell you that I have worked with people my whole life, and there have been times in group settings where I would be like, you know, me and someone else working, be like, is it a full moon? What is going on? And sure enough, we'd look, and guess what? Full moon. So you're not gonna tell me. Anyway, so I haven't bought syrup in a whole year. So canning, and not that I canned a whole lot, because the past several years, even before we moved into the camper and we're at the old house, I had only just started canning. And now I have no storage for canning. But I do like to pretend that I'm putting up stuff for the year and I have lots of space. But I just dabble and do a little. But do what you can, right? So I'm doing what I can and putting up what I can for what I have room for, and enough to share with others. So can some things. And if you can't grow it, you know, y'all can go into like the woods and pick stuff, right? Like, where do you think these beauty berries came from? The woods. I don't grow this in my yard on purpose. There are a couple that grow by the chicken coop way back, but I didn't plant them. They wouldn't be ready if I did. But all up in them woods, y'all. Go explore. See what you can find. Be smart about it, though. Alright, so that was number 1. Canning things. I didn't buy any syrup for a whole year. And that maple syrup is expensive, so I know I saved some money. Next. Alright, this is the one that's kind of weird. Y'all might be grossed out. You can judge me if you want to. That's fine. You do you, I'll do me. So I purchased 2 bottles of shampoo for 1 whole year. And I didn't finish the second bottle. before the year mark ran out. Sure enough, in a whole year, I used less than 2 bottles of shampoo. All right, so how did I go a whole year and use less than 2 bottles of shampoo? I'm sure you're asking yourself that. So I pushed my hair back, and I actually had started doing this during COVID. Y'all know, 2020, 2021, won't we all watching YouTube? Won't we all taking in all the things and preparing ourselves? I was like, I'm gonna be ready. I have to go without shampoo. I'm gonna be ready. Because back in the day, I had to wash my hair every single day, or it looked like somebody had just poured olive oil down my scalp. I mean, it was bad. I really had to wash it every day. But that's because I had trained it that way, right? As a kid, I didn't wash my hair every day as a child. So over time, as I started working in public and, like, I don't know, taking showers every day, I guess it felt good and I wanted to feel clean. So I would wash my hair every day. Well, I had to train myself the same way. I stopped washing my hair every day. And the first step was, and again, this was like back during COVID, I started it. Once I was working, I think 2017, I started working remotely because that's the year I started homeschooling. But even remotely then meant I worked from home as my base office, but I was working in mental health as a therapist, and I had to travel to 5 counties to do home visits. And I was out in the public. Like, there was 2 days a week that I had a nanny that helped with homeschooling. And the rest of the time, I worked from home. That morning, it was really late at night because I was, like, homeschooling in the morning. So, like, late at night, I was working from home on my paperwork. But I had to go into the office. No. I did that on, 2 days a week, I basically had a nanny. The other 3 days, I just took them to after-school care. Oh, the one child to after-school care and did my home visits in the evening. Did family time, and then, like, was up really late doing paperwork. Okay, so here we go again, off on a rabbit trail. So when COVID happened and the job I had, which was remote, like I was saying, turned into fully remote, like fully from home teletherapy, right? Because of COVID. And it was also in 2020 that I opened my own business, my own private practice. But, like, it did take a little while to build up. So, like, there was a few months I was still with the other agency while building up hours in my private practice. Okay, so I had the opportunity to just stay home. Like, you could see me on the screen, but you couldn't tell how, like, I could throw my hair back in a ponytail and people couldn't really tell, right? So I started pushing it back. And arrowroot powder actually helped me with that to start with. The days I didn't wash my hair, I would put arrowroot powder in it. Some people do baby powder in their hair, and that's fine. But I chose to do arrowroot powder. And if you put too much, you're totally gray. It's kind of funny. And it gets everywhere, of course, because it's a powder. But if you put just a little bit in your scalp, it keeps it a little dry. So I used the arrowroot powder, and I just started pushing it back to every other day. And eventually, by the time we moved out here, a little over 2 years ago, we were totally off-grid, right? Back there in the woods, off-grid. I had my off-grid shower system I took, but I didn't take no showers every day because you had to boil the water and then haul it up the ladder, pour it in the tub bucket thing. It's a nice shower though. It's way better than the camper shower. No lie. The pressure was better. The water stayed hotter a lot longer. And it was hotter from Jump Street. And I like hot showers. I like to scold myself like I'm about to have some feathers plucked out of me when I take a shower. And it don't happen in this camper. But the off-grid shower did, because it was like boiling water in there. But I didn't do it every day. A lot of the days I just washed in the sink. So I was able to push it back even more. And again, working fully remote. Like, I was working fully remote when we moved here because I own my own private practice. And even though I saw people in my office at the old house, I went full teletherapy when we moved here. So I could do that. And now I only wash my hair twice a week. And it works. The only place it gets oily is like right here, the temples. And I think that's for two reasons. I still struggle with headaches, and I put peppermint oil here, and I have a heating pad, like a rice sock basically, and I lay that over my face when I sleep at night, because I start to feel, it's sinus, it's like all congested. And days where I'm like in the woods or outside a lot, you better bet I'm gonna have it. And also, I get triggered migraines by scents. So, like, if I'm in Walmart too long, it'll happen. If I go to somebody's house where they have lots of scents going, I'm going to get a migraine. So, that. But I wash my hair twice a week. I wash it on Saturday evenings or Sunday mornings, and I prefer Saturday evenings because the shower's always cold on a Sunday morning. And I do that because I'm going to church, so I want to, like, plus Saturday outside, like, ooh, I'm like getting gross on Saturday, so I really like Saturday evening showers. I will have like duck poo in my hair on Saturdays for sure, from moving the 2 pools into watering the orchard and all that. So Saturday evening, I almost always is my shower. And then usually on Wednesday is my other shower. But sometimes it might be Tuesday evening, or it might be Thursday. It just depends on like what's going on Wednesday. But typically Wednesday midday is my shower. And that's always a nice one, because at midday the shower here goes a little bit longer with heat. Okay, that was 2, right? So one was canning foods, not buying syrup, that one product I didn't buy for a full year. The second was washing my hair twice a week, so that way shampoo was only bought one time, 2 bottles for a whole year. Third, I'm going to go with this one. You probably can guess, but it's raise your own meat. Now, I wish I could say that we were like 70% sustainable. That's the goal. We're still very far from it. But the meat we did raise, pigs mainly. I mean, we raised some other things too that are meat. Backyard birds, rabbits. Sorry kids. And I guess that's it. Yeah. Because we don't eat lamb or sheep yet. So the backyard birds and the pigs would be the most of it. So I don't really see a like the backyard birds, we just eat them right? Like when we need to. And there's nothing special about that. And I've noticed too with the chicken, the meat's a little tougher than what I get from the store. Unless it's like shredded into tacos or in a soup or stew, then it's fine. And not this year, but year before last, we ate so much duck that I was sick of it. I was like, I don't want to eat any more duck. I'm over duck. I'd eat some duck now, though. Like, I'm not too far past it. We're going to have turkeys this year, so we're not buying turkeys for Thanksgiving or Christmas. But the pig put out a lot of meat. And I've been able to share that pig meat with people, too. I'm sure some of y'all watching are aware of what the prices in the grocery store look like. And I've had a couple of friends who've made comments to me about like being in the grocery store and having to put stuff back at the register because things went up so much. And so like hamburger, which I haven't bought any meat in 3 weeks. None. We've eaten what we've had here. But that's just 3 weeks. And I really miss hamburger. Like right now, I was thinking like, do I want to go buy some hamburger for next week? But I was able to share meat with people who were like saying they were having a hard time at the grocery store. What a blessing that is to me, to be able to share food with people, right? Now, I'd love to be able to do more and have more for myself too, but like I said, we're not there yet. But like, just not buying meat for 3 weeks, that saves a lot. Now, I miss my hamburger a lot. But, you know, I buy the grass-fed, organic, grass-finished beef, and it's like $7.99 a pound. Hold on. It might be $9.99 a pound now. When I started buying it, it was like $5.99 a pound, which was expensive, but it has gone up. And when I catch it on sale, I'll try to buy bulk. We have no freezer here. We use other people's freezers. That's the downside of a camper. But just like, I can only imagine how much money I have saved in not buying meat in 3 weeks, just because this is a sad, sad truth. And this is going to be the segue into how I grocery shop, and it saves money. But when I grocery shop, I typically get meats only, or it's like meats, oils, milk sometimes. I drink coconut milk, so I have to have coconut milk. And then I make special trips for other things. Like today, I've got to get coconut sugar. I need some more almond flour. Like there's some things I got to get, and I don't even get them from Aldi. Anyway, the almond flour I can, but my coconut flour and other flours I have to get from like a more high-end grocery store. But my Aldi run, I do it. Okay, first focus on meat prices. I come out of that store for 2 weeks with basically just meat, and it's like $200. So, not having bought meat in 3 weeks is kind of like saving $300, I think, you know, and that's pretty good. It won't be this way forever. I mean, I probably can pick another time. Like, I probably could do this once every few months. But like I said, I am gonna go get me some hamburger. Probably not for this week coming up, but because we got a little gotcha day thing coming up. So, but probably when I get back from that, I'm probably gonna get some. It'll be time for a feed run then anyway. So I'm gonna get me some hamburger. I'm missing the taste of hamburger a whole lot right now. All right, so that leads into number 4. Grocery shopping. Make those trips for special occasions or a once a month or twice a month run. Now, my goal one day when I'm in a house and have a freezer and a pantry is to make once a month grocery store runs. That's the goal. But right now, because the freezer is so small, we can only do every, like 2 times a month. So I know when I go to the grocery store more often, I buy more things than what I need for 2 weeks. Now, what will happen, that second week you're in, you're like, what am I going to eat? Because you've eaten all your favorite meats and meals at that point, and you're like, okay, this is what I have. Okay, so you're saving money. And then when you do the other runs for special needs, like, make it a one trip, have a list, get those things. I'm not saying don't treat yourself, because I treat myself too. Friday nights are movie night here, and very often I either buy them pizza to put in the oven, or we make pizza, or I buy it from Jet's Pizza. I know that's not the best, but you know what? Once in a while things don't hurt, right? Like if it's just once in a while. And when we eat pizza out, that truly is once in a while. And I don't eat it, just the boys. But honestly, I'll buy the pizza from the grocery store. It's a lot cheaper than making it. So that's why I do that probably more. And for the fact that, like, some Fridays I work till 6. And when I work till 6 on Friday, it'll be like 9 o'clock when we start watching that movie if we make pizza here. But we do like making the pizza because it's fun. And you put your own, we just put out some toppings, right? You got some pepperoni, you got some mushroom, you might have some tomato, or you might have, what else we put on it? Ham sometimes. Whatever the toppings are. I'm a pepperoni and mushroom kind of girl. And the only time I eat pizza is if I make it here. So I do like the making pizza route, but it typically costs more total when I do that. When I'm like, all right, grocery store run for pizza toppings, I spend more, you know. I wish I could say growing my mushrooms were a way I had saved money. I have tried to grow mushrooms twice this year and failed both times. So it's like, I feel like I start off so strong with like the sporing, and I think everything's inoculating. I'm like, I've got to get this down. I talked to like the cooperative extension agent, one of those people. I don't know the real title, but they know plants. Botanist? Like, that would be the scientist though, right? So, botany specialist. I don't know. But basically he was saying I need to grow them indoors and have it controlled and stop putting them outside. But when you live in a camper, that's really hard. Really hard. All right. So let's recap. 1 was can things, pick something, don't buy it for the whole year. 2, stretch your hair washing or whatever cosmetic routine you can think of out so you can buy less of product. 3 was meats. If you can raise your own meat, quail and rabbit you can raise even if you're in a house. Just saying. And 4 was grocery shop less and more focused. Now, my last tip for how we've saved money this year is may not be relevant to everybody, but even though I love homesteading and I love staying home, I also like to go and see things. I'm a homeschool mama, so we like to take trips. But one way, and I guess this hasn't been the full year, this was more of a like, in the summer, I made this decision. Say no to nickel and dime trips. Don't go on a field trip just because it's educational and just because a group of people you like are planning it. Go on a trip because it makes sense for what you're learning and going along with, or because it is a good opportunity that's free. There's plenty of those. You don't have to jump on the once a month field trip, Friday field trip bandwagon. That costs a lot of money. And that's actually something my husband was trying to tell me for years. And I was like, well, what if we just do once a month field trips? And we kind of got there. And then last year I was like, but why are we here? Like, is this relevant to us in any kind of way? So yeah, my field trip planning has changed. And I want to say that with vacations too. Like, if you vacate, you can be so smart about it. There is a place that I told my daughter, just fly on in from Arizona, girl, come on, because you wanted to go and I never took you, that my kids are about to go to. The Great Wolf Place, you know what I'm talking about? So it's a surprise. So we never went because I was like, I'm not paying $3.99 for a weekend at a hotel. That's not doing that. But we found a special, and we going. They come out with the homeschool days, and I was like, okay, it falls on Gotcha Day, which we're also going to the zoo that day. And guess what? It's free for us. Homeschoolers get one free day a year at the zoo. So we're going on a trip. I say weekend. It's in the middle of the week. It's not weekend. So that does make a difference too, right? And that's probably why the homeschool special is like in the middle of the week. But so we'll be gone for a couple days and spending less than $200 in total. Well, okay, maybe gas. All right, because I'm considering food here. The stay, the food, where we're going. Okay, 200 plus gas. Let's say that. Okay, that's a good deal. So be smart about when you go on trips and where you go. That's how we've managed to save some money. I wish I could say we saved a lot more. That is a process. I think getting to the point where you can save more takes time. And we're trying to get there. And hopefully, in a couple years, I can come up here and say, we buy meat once a month and we only spend $100 on it. That would be really cool, right? That's goals. But we're not there yet, and there's things that need to happen, and we'll get there. And if you guys have any tips on like how you've saved money that I can use, that other people who might be watching this video can use, please put them in the comments. That's the best thing about YouTube, is sharing information and learning. That's why I'm here. Like I said, COVID, that's when I got on the YouTube bandwagon, and I probably wouldn't be on a homestead if it wasn't for watching all the videos and just like, okay, my dreams can become true. They did it, why can't I? So please drop in the comments any suggestions you have or ways that you've saved money for the year that I didn't mention. Thanks for watching. Bye.